and your children are turned into mindless vassals who now they look up to some twit instead of looking up to Thomas Jefferson or looking up to Nikola Tesla or looking up to Magellan. I mean, kids, Magellan's a lot cooler than Justin Bieber. He circumnavigated with one ship the entire planet. He was killed by wild natives before they got back to Portugal. And when they got back, there was only like 11 people alive of the 200 and something crew, and the entire ship was rotting down to the waterline. That's destiny. That's will. That's striving. That's being a trailblazer, an explorer, going into space, mathematics, quantum mechanics, the secrets of the universe. It's all there. Life is fiery with its beauty. It's incredible detail. Tuning into it. They want to shatter your mind talking about Justin Bieber.
Hello out there. We're on the air. Happy Tuesday, everybody. Happy Tuesday. Noster, Rumble, YouTube. We're live everywhere today. We couldn't be more live if we tried. And I'm going to tell you right now, this might be the best show in YouTube history. We'll see. It's titled, "Do You Already Have Enough Bitcoin?" You might not know it, but you already got enough Bitcoin. It's good to see everybody today. It's good to see you and you and you and you. I feel pretty bad. I did a show on Saturday and I completely missed Rumble the entire time. And Rumble are my people. There's just a lot going on. I got pretty caught up in what we were talking about. It was a good show. It was probably the best feedback I've received on a show in a long time. And I wasn't really sure how it would be taken. So if you haven't had a chance to watch that one yet, I think it's called "Is Trump Going to End the Fed?" That's Bitcoiners' favorite term, end the Fed. That's my favorite term. End the Fed, end the Fed. Speaking of the USA and speaking of chance, man, I was in Nashville last week. Well, yeah, last week-ish. I got home a week ago. But man, I don't think I've ever seen so much USA pride. I usually go to the US once or twice a year just for different things and different reasons. But I've never seen more like American pride in my whole life. Maybe when I was a kid, but I don't really remember. But every bar you walked into in Nashville, they were playing the Toby Keith. What's that song called? It was the one that the U.S. Olympic team played as kind of their theme. But yeah, lots of USA chants. It's good to see. It really is. And I think that's what's big picture happening today. We're going to be talking about a couple different things. Well, I'm actually going to do kind of a hybrid show here. So we're going to do like my normal morning shows, which, just in case you don't know, we do a stream every single morning with the Rumble crew. Shout out to Rumble. Shout out to Rumble. Oh, Rumble's not live? Hold on. As I'm talking up Rumble, I don't even put it live. Nice. Nice one, George. Sorry, Rumble. Sorry, Rumble. Going live now. Oops. I got to manually do it. So anyways, what was I talking about there? What was I talking about? The daily shows. Just in case you don't know, we do a live stream every morning. We do a live stream every morning. You can find it there. And we're actually going to be, so we've done 400 episodes. We did 400 episodes on YouTube called The Daily Bitcoin Journey. We've done 93 episodes of The Visionary Show, which is the morning stream. And so next week, we're actually going to hit our 500th live stream. 500 live streams. I said, I don't know how I've done 500 live streams and I'm still shitty at doing live streams, but I'm a lot better than I was. So we got that going for us. Rumble, can you hear me? Give me a thumbs up or two if you can hear me and see me. But that's where you can find it, right there. Very easily. Could not be easier to find. We do a show every day. But anyways, the reason I say that is because after 500 shows, I'm going to slightly change up the show a little bit. So it's going to be more tailored towards Bitcoiners. It's going to be less like Bitcoin stuff and more tailored towards like what's the next step for Bitcoiners. You know, you got your Bitcoin, you got it in self-custody, you have an inheritance plan set up, you're buying consistently, DCAing. What's next? You don't want to just keep hearing about Bitcoin, right? You kind of got to evolve. So we're going to be talking about a bunch of different things: privacy stuff, sovereignty stuff, Citadel stuff, a lot of different things in there. So consider checking that out right there. Very easy to find. Could not be easier for you. Okay, we got some thumbs up in the rumbles. Nice. Let me just check there quickly because I saw some action. We got the captain over there. Good morning, captain. So yes, that's what we're going to be doing today. I'm going to kind of do a hybrid of my usual show plus the 21 lessons, formerly known as 88 lessons. But this is going to be the last one. The last 21 lessons. Captain's here. Rich is here. Good morning, Rich. Sats and Sunsets. The Smith. Sharon B. We got some golden whales. We got some silver whales in there. Ginger. Victus. Jake. Mark. Praetorian. The King. We got Mika. Mikalu. Buck 52. Joshua. The King. Sorry, I said the King to Praetorian. Praetorian's the Guardian. That's his nickname around these parts. Josh says, Arn, is this the right place to show my privilege card? Yes, it is. It is. Another golden whale, Joshua, the King himself. And Sats and Sunsets. Looks like he gifted a membership to who? Sharon B is the lucky recipient. There you go, Sharon B. Jenny says, good morning. Is this the right place to cry about having to file taxes last night and how much time it took me to account for every single stinking transaction and strike? Well, you're a better version than me, Jen. I'll tell you that. That's all I'm going to say. We got, who else is over there? Okay. I think that's it. So thank you, Sats and Sunsets. Cheers. How can I become a member? What are you looking to become a member of? You can join as a member on the YouTube channel. That gets you actually quite a bit of stuff. That gets you all the Bitcoin School videos. So you got 89 already this year. Every single day I post a new video talking about different topics within Bitcoin. It's called Bitcoin School. And if you're a member on YouTube or School, you get yourself you get to see videos every day. Good morning, welcome, and sorry. That's pretty nice. Good morning. Nice to see you. Julian says, good morning, Joe. Awesome time to be a Bitcoiner. At this price, there's no way we won't accumulate a whole coin. That's what I'm talking about. Everybody's all butthurt about the price. I'm like, this is actually heaven. Like it honestly could not be more obvious what's playing out right now. And if you're watching this video today, it's like you can see the future. It's like you have a crystal ball. It's like you have a winning lottery ticket and the world is just catching up to that. You just got to wait to cash it. And that's the crazy thing to me is like, there's so many people every single day who go down to the gas station and buy a lottery ticket. Or there's so many people on Polymarket betting on how many cars will cross this line before 10 a.m. And I get it. Everybody's desperate. Everybody in this world is pretty desperate right now. Especially people who aren't in Bitcoin yet. They don't really have the vision, the hope for the future. And that's going to be a big part of the new stream too, which is going to start next Wednesday after episode 500. But yeah, we can see it in the future. And the price being down has no impact on anything really, unless you're somebody who's trying to retire tomorrow. But at that point, you should have a bunch of other assets other than Bitcoin, I would hope, from the old system. Because if you're at that stage of your life, you probably built up quite a bit of value through the years. And shouldn't say you should, but you probably do have some funds in the old system, the traditional system. So I just don't see how Bitcoin price being down really impacts anybody in a negative way. It's like perfect. You know, I got a Bitcoin goal here that I look at every single day. We talk about this every day on School. Every episode, we look at our Bitcoin goal. And I know that if the price was double or triple or quadruple, it would be twice as hard, 3 times as hard, 4 times as hard for me to hit this goal. I don't want that. So, I mean, what more could you ask for in life right now? Rockabilly. Good name. So I had an espresso this morning. I usually have one right when I wake up. And it looked a little bit like diluted or weak. So I made a mistake. I shouldn't have done it, but I did it. And I put another shot in there. And I was feeling a little bit nauseous this morning after that. So I don't know why I made another one. I think I had to learn my lesson the first time. So if this stream ends randomly, I'm probably barfing in the bathroom from too much espresso. Anyways, we got a good crew over on Noster too, it looks like. We got Rajesh says, hello. Back-to-back days, Rajesh. I keep wanting to say Rajat. Rajesh is in the chat. Jake's over there. Good morning, Jake. Sats and Sunsets with a big baller zap today for the last and final show. Last but not least, he says, lesson 21 and zapped 21,000 units of freedom. So the Smith, also known as Sats and Sunsets, is definitely a front runner. Will he be beat? Who knows? He is a front runner for the MOB, the most outstanding Bitcoiner. He bought Share and Be a membership, and he sent a big zap, 21,000 units of freedom. Camille says, good morning. Just woke up. Is this real life? I think so. Ghost of Terry says, I'm shooting for 10 Bitcoin before I die. It's a pretty good goal. If you can get to 10 Bitcoin, man, it's going to be like a king in a small country. If you want to be a king, the equivalent of a king in a small country, get 10 Bitcoin. We got Joshua, the king himself, 8,888 units of fun units. Says Luxter, cloth thrice to protest the No Kings protests. We're all activists now, no? The funniest thing I've ever seen in my life, I mean, there's been a lot of like crazy things in the last week happen. Like the NDP conference in Canada here. It might have been in Manitoba even. Did you guys see that? But and then there was the No Kings, people in London protesting, a No Kings protest. And London literally has a king. And they're protesting No Kings. Some days, you know, you don't really know. I mean, going back to Camille's comment here, is this real life? I ask myself that every day, but I try not to spend too much time on Twitter because that's where you see all that kind of nonsense. That's where you get yourself feeling like a crazy person. Then you hang out here, you hang out on Noster, you hang out in the school community, and you're talking to people who are on the same frequency as you. Not many people are, honestly. And it might sound a little bit arrogant to say, but it's not. That's not what I'm trying to say here. But there's just not a lot of people like us on Earth. There's just not. There's not many people who think like us on Earth. I think they will one day. They're eventually going to get slapped in the face with reality. But we're not there yet. BTC Backpackers up 21. And he said, it's that time of season, mowing lawns for Sats, back in the saddle. Good to see you, Backpacker. Mowing lawns for Sats. Bitchalmer says, I would like to translate some of your videos into Serbian. I think they're really high quality and explain what Bitcoin is in the right way. Cheers. Is that okay with me? Of course. I'd like to be a Serbian celebrity. What kind of perks do I get with it? What's the perks? Josh said it was in the... So I thought it was in Manitoba. I don't know how many people saw clips from that conference, but I mean, if you just want to see the worst, I don't even want to say the worst kind of people. It's not even that. It's just like, it's actually embarrassing. It's like, how did we let it get this far? But it's I don't know. I got a lot of different opinions on it. And I don't think it's one of those things where we vote our way out of it. I really don't. I really don't think we vote our way out of it. I think that the people in charge, we'll say in charge, aren't going to be in charge for very much longer. I don't think they will. Some will. Like, I would say that the government in the US is probably the most important one. It's the closest thing to like a democracy that we have on earth. And the fact that most of the citizens in the US are armed, that's more important. That's much more important. Because if that wasn't the case, I think even the US would have turned into something like Canada. So I do think that certain countries voting maybe makes a difference. Also, it's like, how do you have Kamala Harris, probably the dumbest human on the planet, like up there, top 10 dumbest humans on the planet. She's running for president against the guy who won. And it wasn't like 80-20, which it should have been. It probably should have been like 99-1, honestly, if we had like any sort of common sense left in this world. But it's like 49-51. Really? How is every election 59-41? I say it all the time. It's like voting is the adult equivalent of writing a letter to Santa Claus. It's the same thing. You get the same results. Your vote has no impact on anything. The best vote that you can make is just taking your energy out of that system and putting it into Bitcoin. And you're doing that. You're here right now. So I will say that. Ghost of Terry says Trump is an agent of chaos to destroy a lot of the bullshit systems. 100% agree with that. 1000% agree with that. Josh says the drama teacher didn't help. He accelerated the demise. Yeah, but even so, like, I don't think that any of those elections, maybe the first one he won, maybe, but the results, the reality did not match the results in any of those elections. That's what I said. I was like, I don't know. But here's the good news. Here's the good news for people, because it sounds like, it sounds like me giving up. Maybe that's not the case at all, because I think that there's kind of two higher powers at work right now. And I think the higher power that wants humanity to thrive the way we should be is actually the ones with real power. The other side has abstract power. And if you've read the book Software, or at least understand the premise of it, that's exactly what's playing out right now. So it's good news. It's good news. And I mean, the best thing that you can do as an individual is just, relax. Don't worry too much. Don't get sucked into the bullshit. That's exactly what they want to happen. They want to bring your energy and your frequency down as much as they can. They do it every day. They have countless tactics to do it as well. So just do what you can. Be kind to people. Enjoy yourself. Understand that our most precious asset here, other than Bitcoin, no, more than Bitcoin, is time, because we don't know when it ends. Bitcoin's absolutely scarce, but time is unpredictably scarce. And there's a difference there. Just like there's a difference between pretty scarce like gold and absolutely scarce with Bitcoin. There's a difference between absolutely scarce where we know when it ends, like Bitcoin, and unpredictably scarce with life, time. So just enjoy yourself. For real. For real. And I'm not saying that just to say it. I'm reminding myself as well, because it's very easy to get sucked into that shit. Very easy. Shani boy. Shani is in the chat. He said, morning, stopped in for a quick zap just to work, doing some training. Have a great day, legends. Thank you, Shani. He zapped 3,333. And I want to give a big shout out to our guy, Praetorian, as well, who sent in an early morning zap of 5,000 units of sovereignty. So shout out Praetorian. Thank you, Shani. And Mark, 65 sat zapped 1650. The Mark zap. 65 sats, 1650. Thank you, my friend. And looks like Sharon B sent some in. Sharon B was active today. She sent 4 zaps of 555. Shout out Sharon B. Okay, so like I said, we're going to be, this is a little bit different than our usual YouTube stream here. And I'm not going to lie, it's kind of crossed my mind to come back onto YouTube for the new series, but I don't think I will. I thought about it. I don't think I will. Okay, we got a lot of action here to get through. So we'll get through it here. It's going to be a fun show today. I promised the best show on YouTube in YouTube history today. So we'll see what happens. Master Mason from Washington, D.C. Good morning, my friend. Nav. Morning, buddy. Andrew says hello and good morning. Good morning, Andrew. Nice little pick there. Bitcoin wizard. Sedge. Look at this. Sedge, love this. Says, thanks for your long-term view. I understand that I already have enough. That's the state of mind you want. Because otherwise you're in the fiat race again. You don't want to do that. Nav says, what time's the mastermind on today? Important subject I think y'all are going to have to talk about today. Okay. What's the subject? Well, give me some prep time. It's at 2 p.m. Eastern time today. There's Backpacker. There's Sato Milenario. He says, Sato Millionaire here. Good morning. Boris says, wow. What's that about, Boris? Otto, good morning. Gringo Poppy, need more sats. Do you? I don't know. Never enough. DCA and hodl forever. Yeah, I mean, there's a difference between DCAing forever and like stressing out about it, though. And that's kind of what we're going to be talking about today. Take advantage of the lower price. Amen. Look at this. Silvis, I hate to tell you this, but the number one rule in Bitcoin is never tell anybody how much Bitcoin you have. So I'm going to take that off the chat. I probably shouldn't have brought it up, but I didn't know what the comment was. But pretty impressive, I will say that. And you say nothing huge there. I think that's the wrong way to look at it. That is about 40 times 5. That's about 200 times more than anybody you know will have. So just think about that. All the people you know in your life, imagine if you had 200 times more money than them. Would you be happy with that? Would you think that that's nothing huge? 200 times more. So let's say they had, let's say that they had a net worth of $500,000, or just say $1 million. Let's say they have a net worth of $1 million, the people that you know. And you have, that means that you would have the equivalent of 200 million. Would you be satisfied with that? Would you be satisfied with that? Would you say that that's nothing huge? Or would you walk around with your swinging around? But that's a good goal. Everybody should have a goal. Everybody should have a goal. Reliable people are more valuable than Bitcoin, especially nowadays. That's true. I wouldn't say they're more valuable than Bitcoin, but I'd say they're valuable. One thing you can always rely on here is the morning show, 10 a.m. Eastern. That's the most reliable thing you'll find in life. No matter what. Price is ripping, price is crashing. I got a runny nose. I got a buzz on. Doesn't matter. We're doing the shows every day. Ignore the noise. Stack sats every day. Amen to that. T. Jacobson's in the house. Good morning, T. Jacobson. T. Jacobson, I don't know if I'm confusing you with somebody else. I don't think I have the right guy here. No, I don't have the right guy. You're a good guy. There's another guy has a similar name to you, and he always just has the most negative takes on everything. It's like, why do you even watch my shows? The main thing that I want to accomplish with every show that I do is to give people hope. That's the main thing. And there's people still like just shitting on me. And it's like, why? Even if we're wrong about Bitcoin, wouldn't you rather spend the majority of your life being hopeful and positive? I would. That's a lot of sats. Amen to that. As I mentioned the other day, I'm writing a book. The first draft is done. It's been years in the planning, months in the making. Stay tuned. Nice. Number one rule of Fight Club. Exactly. Is this the right place to collect? Oh, Scotty Boys, unemployed. Scotty Boys, unemployed. How does it feel? Probably pretty good, hey? I remember when I quit my job and I thought I was going to be like super stressed out, but it was like the best feeling in the world. It honestly felt like I'd been living in a jail cell for my whole life, and I finally just walked out of it. I'm serious. I'm deadly serious. It was horrifying. I'm trying not to use the F-bombs here, but it was horrifying. But I'll never forget that feeling that I had. And that's the thing too. It's like I was doing stuff that I somewhat enjoyed. The people that I work with, I absolutely loved. I got paid pretty well to do it. But even so, like I can't even imagine how people feel who like make no money. They go to work every day. They work their ass off. They hate what they do. I couldn't even imagine what that feeling would be like for them. Couldn't. Okay, we got some action here on Rumble again. What's going on here? We got Seji said moved over to Rumble. I know it's better, but I don't use it enough. Good man. That's what you got to do every day. Just stack things like that. The small things really make a big difference in life, and that's part of it, right? I think that's more important than voting. I swear to God. I swear to God. You ever see that clip of Alex Ovechkin getting a hole-in-one? I swear to God. But honestly, like that to me is more important than voting, is how you spend your time throughout the day, who you buy things from, what you put in your body. Those are the real votes that you make throughout the day. When you don't feel like doing something, but you do it, that's a vote for you. Man, we are buzzing today. Bzz. Okay, we got Eatable Zebras here. Stripes, good morning. I love this, Buck 52. He said, I literally climbed a tree yesterday to see the forest from the trees. Reminded me of why I'm here. And Sats and Sunsets makes a really good point here. He said, does that make Sailor king of the largest country? That's something that not enough people are talking about. Seji said, I saw the nap clown show clips. The best was when they said who has hearing aids. So I imagine everyone else is also having problems hearing. Jen said, I was going to say Kamal and AOC might tie for the dumbest. Yeah. But Kamal just had they're both pretty icky. Ugh. God, they're disgusting creatures. You said time to bring BTC to my local Chamber of Commerce. Any suggestions where to start that conversation? Oh. You're in Canada, right? It's a little bit different in Canada versus the US. I would say if you're in the US right now, you're going to have a much easier time doing it because this is what happened yesterday. I don't know how many people caught this, but absolutely massive news. Absolutely massive news. So Square, a couple months ago, we all know that Square enabled Bitcoin payments into their payment terminals. And so business owners could basically, if they wanted to, they could opt into it. They had to go into their settings. They had to enable the Bitcoin payments, but then all of a sudden they could accept Bitcoin. And the beautiful thing about it was that they don't have to accept Bitcoin. I mean, they accept Bitcoin, but they don't have to receive Bitcoin, which means that if I walked into your business and I had Bitcoin and you had Square, I could pay in Bitcoin and you could take 100% fiat. You could take dollars. And it's 0% fees, I think, for the next 2 years. So the cool thing on the business end is you can decide. I mean, if you're a smart business, you'd at least allocate a small portion of your sales into Bitcoin, but you don't have to. But look at this chart. This is like the best chart I've ever seen in my life. So this is businesses that accept Bitcoin as payment. So obviously there was like, if you zoom in, you can see like some, but as of yesterday, there's 4.5 million businesses that now accept Bitcoin. So that's what I was going to say, Sedge, is like, if you're in the US, like what I would do is I would literally just walk around I would skip the Chamber of Commerce. I would go right to the source. I would go to every single business in my local area. I would print out a business card and I would say, I don't know if you knew this or not, but you can now accept Bitcoin, and give like the reasons why you want to not accept it, because it's enabled. It's automatically enabled now. The Bitcoin on button was switched yesterday. So explain the benefits of why they would actually want to receive some of it in Bitcoin. That's what I would focus on. Because when you have businesses who want to start accepting Bitcoin, who are converting a portion of their sales into Bitcoin, that's when the needle's really going to move here. By the way, I want to say this. We got 35 people in Rumble. We got 56 people in YouTube. And we got people in Nostr. That's like probably close to 100 people. The last time we had 100 people on one of these streams was like when November 2024, when Trump got elected. That's when there was 100 people in the chat, and it hasn't been like that since. So that tells me something. I mean, it tells me that everybody watching this right now at this stage of the game is an absolute legend, for one. But that tells me there's something going on. There's something going on, because that's how Bitcoin wins. There's got to be some excess, some excitement, some action, some care, some give a damn. Yeah, that's the other crazy thing too. Is like, great point here from Breadman. It said, "Damn, we're early. Wait till that business Bitcoin list hits 100 million." Or like, how many businesses are in the world or in the US? Like 350 million. So this is like not even 1% yet. So anyways, what do we got here? David T's here. David T's up 420. Thank you, David T. Camille said, "I would rather be hopeful and positive." Exactly. And that's why you're here. That's why you're here every day, Camille. Because that's what we talk about. We don't talk about the bullshit. We don't get sucked into that world. It's easy to do. Hard to fight, but we do it here. 21 sats somebody sent in and said, "Satoshi loves you." I'm going to guess that was the Bitcoin Golf Pro. I can't see the NPub, but that seems like Bitcoin Golf Pro. Rajesh said 4.5 million businesses accepting Bitcoin. Super. For real. My auto shop will start soon. Nice. I asked him about Bitcoin. Really? Good for you. Good for you. Okay, let's get this off here. Man, we got a big show today. I'm telling you, I predicted at the start of the show, this would be the best stream in YouTube history. You'll be the judge. You'll be the judge, I guess. Waiting for failing Starbucks to make an actual change. Bitcoin for white girl coffees. Starbucks is a joke. I hate Starbucks. I hate everything about it. Hey, Chuck, look at this. Chuck's gifted a subscription to Kev Keith over in Rumble. Thank you, Chuck. Very, very kind of you, my friend. Sharon B says, "That's how I feel every day when I go to work." Oh, that's not good, Sharon. That's not what we're looking for here. Camille said, "Quitting your job and starting your own business is the greatest feeling in the world." And there's going to be a lot of people feeling that soon. And we got the legend himself, 21 Sat Street, Kev, in the chat, says, "Good morning, Jor and Visionaries fam." Jor, are you going to Vegas again, right? I'm not going to lie, Kev. That would be, I would love to. But I just spent a lot of money in Nashville last week. I'm still kind of up in the air, but it's not looking good. It's not looking good, unfortunately. Okay, what do we got here? What's going on? I count as 3 of those viewers. Okay, so we don't have 100 then. We got 97. Sats and Sunset said he's on all 3. Still pretty good, though. Still pretty good. We got Scotty Boy Zap 99. He said, oh, snap, Noster is up. Yeah, it's up. It's never down. And we got Cannon. Look at this guy. Cannon's back. Cannon with 888. Said, good morning, legends. Good morning, Cannon. Good to see you, buddy. Let's talk about this. This is a good one for me because I don't know if you've ever experienced this or not. But have you ever said anything on a live stream before? And then a couple months later, Elon Musk comes out and says the same thing. It's a pretty good feeling. So let's check this out. And I know the people in Rumble today will be able to vouch for the fact that I came up with this theory. I don't know if Elon watches the show, but this is what we've been talking about for a while. It says breaking. Of course, always breaking on Twitter. Everything's breaking. Literally. Breaking. Billionaire Elon Musk just said quantum computing could help recover lost Bitcoin fortunes again. Forgotten wallets, lost passwords. The world's richest man has Bitcoin on his mind. So this was my theory. I talked about this theory about 2 months ago now. I said there's so much bullshit going on around quantum computing and how that it's going to hurt Bitcoin. But I think it's actually going to help Bitcoin for this reason. Because here's how I see it playing out in the future. Number one, I don't think Satoshi ever would have possibly, how could I say this? I don't think there's a chance that Satoshi didn't see what's coming in 2009. Like in 2009, do you think that Satoshi would have been designing Bitcoin and thought, you know what, we're gonna create this protocol, and it's just gonna be good forever? It's gonna be good forever. Like there won't be any technology that can break it. It's just going to be something set in stone. Nobody will change it or update it. It's just going to be there. It's invincible. No, I don't believe that. I think that Satoshi thought of Bitcoin as close to perfect as you could get. And so when you think about it that way, okay, Satoshi, he probably saw technology improving. 2009, they were talking about this stuff back in like the 70s and 80s, like the technology advancements. So Satoshi definitely knew that technology was going to advance. And so what happens here is that there's a lot of lost coins right now. And quantum computing or technology overall is going to get better and better and better. And so what's going to happen is it's going to start, but Bitcoin's going to be able to stay ahead of it. That's a cool thing, I believe. I think Bitcoin's going to be able to stay way ahead of it. There's already wallets and things for quantum computing when quantum computing is not even ready yet. So I think Bitcoin's always going to stay ahead of it. And as technology improves, it's going to be like a bottom feeder. And the old addresses, because that's what's going to happen here, right? Like if quantum actually starts hacking Bitcoin wallets, it's going to be the very old legacy addresses, like the Satoshi era. And so it's going to be like a bottom feed. It's going to be like a bottom feeder. It's just going to be scooping up these old coins that are lost. Because here's the thing. If you had a wallet from that era, and you saw quantum could potentially break that specific type of address or wallet, what would you do? You'd move it, right? You'd be like, okay, well, if there's a chance quantum's going to hack my 5,000 Bitcoin from 2011, I'm probably going to move it to a new address that isn't a threat from quantum. Any logical person would do that. So what does that mean, though? Then we're going to have a much clearer picture of how many coins are actually lost. So you're going to have this technology improving and basically scooping up the old Bitcoin that are considered lost. But if you have the keys to that, you could easily just move it to a new wallet that's quantum resistant or technology blank resistant. And this is going to make Bitcoin actually much more valuable because a good money has 3 main principles: store of value, medium of exchange, unit of account. And when you want to be a unit of account as a pillar of your foundation, you want that unit of account to be reliable. So yes, it's much more reliable than, let's say, fiat and gold and every other thing that exists. but it's still not perfect because we don't know how many coins are lost. So we don't know the actual available supply of Bitcoin. We know it won't exceed 21 million, but we don't know how many coins are lost. And so that's actually a bad thing for a unit of account if you don't know how many coins are in circulation. So again, a lot of people think the quantum is bad for Bitcoin. It's been like the biggest piece of FUD for the last year here. But I believe the quantum is actually good, very good for Bitcoin, because it's gonna act like a scooper. It's gonna scoop up all the lost coins and it's gonna say, hey, if you got old coins in an old address, you better move those or else technology is gonna get it. So you're gonna be able to see how many coins are actually lost, which will be captured by the technology, versus how many coins just haven't moved for a long time, because those coins will move. And it's not going to be like there's going to be no tax consequences or anything like that. They're just going to have to move their Bitcoin from an old address into a new address. And so at the end of this, we're going to have a much clearer picture of how many Bitcoin, how many sats are actually available. So pretty cool. And again, Rumble can verify that this was my theory from months ago. And now Elon Musk, the Henry Ford of our generation, is talking about it. Pretty cool. I'd say there's about a 0.0000000% chance that Elon saw my post, but still pretty cool. So that's shitty thing is, like, people who don't understand Bitcoin probably won't comprehend that. And so they're still going to be kind of going down the quantum FUD road in their head. But I think that Bitcoiners will understand that. Understand the importance of having an accurate unit of account, accurate available supply. Symbiotics says quantum computing breaks all banks and encryption. All the world needs to move. Please remember the financial backbone is still written in COBOL also. And there are no COBOL programmers at all. Yeah, that's what I've been talking about on the channel and the streams for the last couple of weeks, is like, the internet's dead. Anything that's on the internet right now, somebody else has a copy of it somewhere. Your passwords, your photos, all your data, it's gone. And it's not going to be fixed. So just, take that how you want to. Look at this. We got a celebrity in the chat. I think this is the first time that Rajat has ever, probably not watched a stream, but the first time Rajat has ever commented. Good to see you, Rajat. I would say Rajat definitely has enough Bitcoin. I've seen his balances and they're in the triple digits. Somebody was talking about 10 Bitcoin before. Rajat would laugh at that. Wow, another celebrity. Holy cow. This is like, did you guys have to pay? Did people pay tickets to get into the show today? Was there an admission? Should be. Jerry Loves Freedom. The boys. Yeah. Rajat's got 22 million Bitcoin. I think that's enough. Save some for the rest of us, Rajat. Jerry Loves Freedom says, you're coming to Vegas. I'm going to make sure of it. Yeah. This would be more accurate. But I do pay in sats, at least. I do pay in sats. Rumble's going crazy. Everybody says, hey, Rajat. Hi, Jerry. And Noster going nuts. Rajat in the house. Scotty says, Rajat, do some more research, please. Yeah, we call Rajat a 0-hour dipshit. He hasn't spent that much time in Bitcoin. He's got a lot to learn. Okay, well, I'm glad all my friends are here today. Now I'm nervous. Now I got stage fright. We're going to end the stream here. I can't continue. Rajat says we got to do one of these sessions together. I know. I mean, we do Tuesday, Mastermind. We do Friday, Maple. We do Wednesday, Maple Bitcoin recordings. We spend a lot of time together, Rajat. We spend a lot of time together. Backpacker says, Jory, you need to come. The fam wants to meet you. What do we got? 3 weeks? I might be able to make something happen. All right. V. Whoa, look at this. V for, is that value for value? V for V, Aneta? I'm back to Wilson from Home Improvement here right now. V for V, you got to tell me, is that value for value? Because if so, I'm a fan. I'm an instant fan. Said, I have a nice fiat stack and want to buy in at these prices, but I believe the 4-year cycle low will be closer to, oh, I don't like that. Closer to Q3, Q4, and plan to DCA in August when the prices hopefully, no. I'm going to tell you why that's a horrible example, because the whole point of the show today is basically to say that you have enough Bitcoin. Whatever you have today, you have enough Bitcoin. And if you're waiting to time the market between 60 and 70 and 80 and whatever, like think about big picture here. Think about the difference between what are we at today? We didn't even do the mempool. And I hate talking about we actually stopped looking at the fiat price on the show. 66. In 10 years from now, do you think that you're going to give a shit that you bought at 60 versus 66? Because one of these things is a hypothetical. It might go down to 60 in August. It might. It might also go to 600. And then you're going to have 1/100th. No, I guess it'd be 1/10. 1/10. Live math is hard. You're going to have 1/10 of what you had. There's no difference between 66 and 60. Like when you're looking at this on a long time horizon, there's no difference. I would say start DCAing today. That's probably the best. I mean, if it was me, I would smash buy today. I would dump the whole thing into it and then DCA going forward. You're never going to regret buying Bitcoin. Like when I sold my rental house in 2021, I bought it the top. I sold the house. I bought Bitcoin at 65K. 3 months later, it was down to like 30, and then it got down to 15. I was pissed because I was like, if I just would have waited a couple months, I would have had 3x the stack. But then now I'm like up again. And 6 months ago, I was doubled. So it's just like, get what you can. Don't try to time anything because there's like 10 days, I think, per cycle where the Bitcoin price really runs. And if you're sitting on the sidelines for one of those days, that's where you're going to have real regret. You're not going to regret buying at 66 versus 60. But you are going to regret buying at 200K versus 66K or 600K versus 66K because we really have no idea what's going to happen here. The world has never been more chaotic than it is today. The fiat system has never been weaker than it is today. The world has never been more ready for something like Bitcoin than it is today. There's never been more demand. We just looked at 5 million businesses turning on Bitcoin payments. And there's never been an asset with an absolutely scarce supply before. So you don't get caught up in like the cycles and the predictions. Nobody knows anything. That's the reality of things. And any cap you have on Bitcoin or any, timeline or expectations you have, they're completely wrong. So love the name, terrible strategy. DIJ says, I just clicked on because I saw the title. You already have enough Bitcoin. No, I don't. You the feds. Okay, well, thanks for the dumbest comment of the day. I don't even know what that means. All it requires is some changes in algo and consensus to switch. I'd move it. And 2, if there's an address I own that I've lost access to, Quantum will be a means of recovery. Is one Bitcoin at 25 years old enough? You tell me. Do you know how many people are going to have one Bitcoin? I mean, just think about it this way. There's 63 million millionaires who have $1 million worth of fiat or net worth in the fiat system. And there's 21 million Bitcoin. There's probably realistically like, what? 5 million coins that will ever move? I don't know. Do you like wealth? How much Bitcoin does Rajat have? Good question. Let's see if he answered that. 3 times a week is not enough. How much will 0.4 get someone? I don't know what you mean. Buy as often as you can, every day. Every day. Just keep buying, exactly. That's the whole point. Keep adding value, keep storing that value in Bitcoin. That's all you got to do. It's a very simple formula. It actually couldn't be easier. It could not be easier. Any full coiners in the chat? I'm going to go ahead and say there 100% there's full coiners in the chat. 100% plastic. Good to see you, my friend. I'm a smart Yankee. I know where the price is headed. I have a crystal ball. We all have a crystal ball. We know what's going to happen. Ain't it like 60% of the Bitcoin has moved in the past year? I think it's more than that. Okay, let's we got a couple more things I wanted to get through here today. We got Elon. We got the businesses accepting Bitcoin. I want to show this. I don't know if this will be a popular post or not for the chat here, but it kind of resonated with me. And I think there's a lot of people out there who could afford to see this. There's a lot of people, I believe, who could afford to see that. Oh, what? The link may be broken, or the profile may have been removed. What? Maybe I had the wrong link. No, I didn't. What the heck? Hold on, give me a sec. Maybe it was meant to be that we didn't need to see it. No, it's here. Why isn't it not working? Oh yeah, I'll try sharing it again. I'll try sharing being it again. Get it? I don't know how that would have happened. I don't think I sent the wrong link. We'll try it again. If it doesn't work, we'll move on. Okay. Oh, I'm getting a little hot in these rhinos here. A little too excited, a little bit too much espresso today. Rajat, we got a question here. It says, Jor, what are your thoughts on more people becoming Bitcoin educators? More Bitcoin educators. That's a good question, Rajat. I think we don't have nearly enough. What I'm looking forward to, I think, is not like unless you have a very unique perspective, I think that the Bitcoin market overall is probably like okay. You know what I mean? Like you turn on YouTube, if you're looking for Bitcoin stuff, you have more than enough there. Like I have 100 videos in my watch later playlist right now. Like I don't have time myself to keep up with all the Bitcoin content. I do though. I do think that people should be talking about things that they're interested in and tying it into Bitcoin. Right? So if you're somebody out there who's like a hardcore downhill skier, like film you hitting jumps and doing sweet shit, and then just like mix in some Bitcoin stuff once in a while. Like catch the audience because that's who we need to get. We need to get the people who aren't in Bitcoin yet. I think the people who are in Bitcoin have a lot of content, too much almost. Like I feel overwhelmed with all the content. And it's not a bad thing. Like it's great that I have a month's worth of stuff to listen to, but I think that what there's really a lot of space for right now is like people starting their own YouTube channel and just kind of like subtle, not necessarily a Bitcoin channel, but like your interests, and then just tie it into Bitcoin somehow, because you're going to attract people out there who aren't looking for Bitcoin, who aren't really there yet, but you can just kind of slowly mix it in somehow. But yeah, I mean, like that's the other thing too, is like in a cycle, like Rajat, me, Jerry, will probably be like old news. So like there's always going to be cycles of people talking about Bitcoin. So I don't know. I think that there's definitely room for it. Um, but yeah, you need to have like a unique perspective. Right, exactly. But there's a ton of opportunity out there for people who like find a niche and then just tie Bitcoin into it. Okay, man, am I losing my marbles here? How come there's no link in the email now? Live streams are hard. Maple Bitcoin will never be old news. That's true. The community will evolve, I think. That Maple Bitcoin community will evolve. And actually, I'm going to be talking about the Maple Bitcoin community today on the show. Okay, we're an hour into it today. I better start talking about some shit here, I'd say. But yeah, I got some stuff to talk about on the Maple front. Proton, God bless, but man, it's a slow service. Oh, it's because I didn't send it. Wow, what a day. What a day. Yeah, I really think that this is the play. Like, this is kind of where I'm thinking about right now. I'm thinking about myself of like how to get people who are ready for Bitcoin, but they don't really know that they're ready for Bitcoin yet. Like, that's who I want to be trying to get their attention in the next year. Obviously, like we got our community here, like the best people on the planet. We have the best product here with 21 sats, and the Citadel Vault that's going to be released at BTC Prague is going to change Bitcoin and the way people do their inheritance. And we got the best communities, like the Maple Bitcoin community on School. Somebody just joined like 5 minutes ago, and the visionaries. But like, I think that there's a real need to bring people to Bitcoin, to bring people to Nostr. And if you can find some things that other people are interested in already, and then kind of tie Bitcoin into it. So I really think that the conspiracy theorists out there, like they're ripe. Like the people on Rumble are ripe for Bitcoin. They just don't know what it is. They don't know what Bitcoin is. And so that's kind of our job, is to lead them there. We can't make them drink. Okay, it's not working. Sorry. Not meant to be, I guess, today. Never seen that before. Hey, shout out Tiffany6967, followed the Rumble channel. Shout out Tiffany. Are you watching? Or are you a bot? 6967. Nice. So that's a nice name. Oh yeah, let's get to her. I'm going to catch up on some Rumble chats here. I can't leave out the Rumble crew. And then we're going to be exactly. Bring a horse to water, but you can't make a drink. Rajat said, got to go, Jor. Okay, Rajat, we'll see you in less than 3 hours? Going to be a good show today, I feel. Best show of our lives. Hey, Rajat? Best show of our lives. Oh, Sato, I'm still holding my Cardano bag that I got years ago when I was new to crypto. It's sad to see that it's 90% down. I should have bought Bitcoin instead. Well, yeah, you should have, but you also should have traded it for Bitcoin 2 years ago. And you should trade it for Bitcoin today. Because even if that is Cardano, and this is for everybody out there still holding on to cryptos like they're going to recover somehow. They might recover in fiat terms, but they're never going to recover against Bitcoin. Like there's never going to be a scenario where like Cardano's 50% up and Bitcoin's like 5% up. If Cardano increases in fiat, let's say it goes from 20 cents to $2 where you bought it, that means that Bitcoin's probably gone to 1 million. And you're just going to end up with less sats. The longer you hold on to your cryptos, the less sats you're going to be able to redeem them for in the future. So just cut your losses. And the nice thing too is like, if you are somebody who files your taxes, first of all, why are you paying money to pedophiles? But number two is you get to claim a loss. You get to claim a loss on your cryptos. Your Cardano went from $2 down to 20 cents. Sell it, claim a loss. Buy Bitcoin, never sell it. It's like the best tax strategy of all time. Best show of our lives, exactly. Bitcoin will bottom in the upper 20s. Okay. I hope it does. Dreadstone's here. Good morning, Dreadstone. Good to see you. Okay, what I'm going to do now, because we got a good crew here. What I'm going to ask you to do right now is get out your Lightning wallets. If you have a Lightning wallet, get out your Lightning wallets. We're going to give away some free sats. Who doesn't love free sats? Courtesy of our friends at the Bitcoin Well. And then we're going to get to the lesson. I just realized that I put together an agenda today and I didn't even go through it today. Okay, so get out your Lightning wallets and I want you to point it at the screen. So if you got a wallet of Satoshi, if you got a Koinos wallet, if you got a Speed wallet, what you're going to do is you're going to press send. You think you want to press receive, but you press send and you point that thing at the screen. And the first person to scan this QR code on the screen is going to get some free Bitcoin courtesy of our good friends at Bitcoin Well. And my ask of you today, because we're not sponsored by Bitcoin Well, they just give sats to the community. Great company. They're a non-custodial exchange, so there's no risk of rug, zero risk of rug, because they don't hold your Bitcoin. You can pay bills. You can swap from Lightning to on-chain for free. There's a ton of features on Bitcoin Well. So what I'm going to ask you to do is just give them a shot. If you're in Canada or the US, even if you use somebody else already, just give Bitcoin Well a shot. Go to bitcoinwell.com/Jor. I'll throw it in the chat here. And just try them. Buy like $100 worth of Bitcoin. See how you like the process. And if you think it sucks, then don't use them again. But everybody I talk to between River and Bitcoin Well love both of them. So give them a shot. bitcoinwell.com/Jor. If you're not a user already, give them a shot. Camille says, love Bitcoin Well. Super easy to use. Okay, so let's give away some Bitcoin. Andrew says we all got here because we realized we needed something outside of fiat. Everyone will eventually go towards Bitcoin. Tom, yeah, 100%. All roads lead to Bitcoin. Every single road leads to Bitcoin. Miss V Fudd. Miss V Fudd was one of the original viewers of the 88 Sats channel. Miss V Fudd, him or her was in the chat when there was like 2 people and the shows were 10 minutes long. Good times. Okay, I'll leave this up. Let's give away some free Bitcoin here. So hopefully you got your camera pointed at the screen. We're going to do a couple tosses. I might do 3, I might do 5. Who knows? Too soon to say at this point. But let's give her a shot. Let's do a toss. Ready? So again, whoever scans this QR code first is going to be the winner. And if you do join using my link there, you get 5 tosses into the wishing well with chances of winning 500,000 sats, 210,000 sats, 1 million sats. But pretty good here, though. 1 in 20 odds to win 21,000 sats. That's probably more than most people will ever have in their life. You could get that in a wishing well toss. Okay, here we go. Ready, set, go. $210 sats. Not bad. Not great, but not bad. Okay, I'm going to catch up on some Rumble chats as we wait for these QRs to be accepted. 1. Scotty said Loza and George already called it. Yeah, that's a good point, Scotty. I forgot about that. I called the bottom so far correctly, a month into it. Okay, that's 1. Should we do another one? I think so. Congrats to whoever won that. Let's see who can win the second one here. Sharon B says, shout out to the feds in the chat. 210 again. Shout out to the feds in the chat. Buck52 says total U.S. retirement assets were 49 trillion at the end of 2025. Wow. Sharon said Jor needs water. Yeah, you're right. I actually do need water. Good call, Sharon B. Keeping me in check here. All right. Congrats to whoever won that. Let's do one more here. Maybe two more. Who knows? We got to get off of, we're going to do them until, I said this one time and it bit me in the ass, but we're going to do it until we get more than 210 sats. I guess we're doing 4. Oh yeah, I'm going to have a nice shot of the best element, the best in the biz. If you never had this before, let me know. I'll get you a link and I'll give you a free little sample pack, 10 free packs, I think it is. More salt, not less. That's their theme. So it's electrolytes and salt, and then they are frickin' tasty. Okay, what can we do here? Can we do one more? Oh, nobody claimed yet. Nobody wants 210, I guess. I'll take them. Is it not on the screen or something? Yeah, it's there. Okay, if nobody wants them, I'll take them. I'll take them for Arnie. Damn it. It won't work. Maybe it's not working. Suckers. Did that work? The QR code wasn't working. Did anybody notice that? You probably just thought that you didn't win. But I think I'll see if I successfully claim that one. That would be a first. That would be a first in show history where I got to claim one. Okay, we'll do another one. Hopefully these are working. 210 again. Wow, we got something happened here, folks. Something happened in the wallet. No, I didn't get it, unfortunately. Okay, we'll do. No, I can't break my promise here. I guess we're going to do these until we get something other than 210 sats. We could be here all day, folks. 21,000. Okay, but we did receive a big zap here. Let's see who did it. Who did it? Who done it? Who frickin' done it? Sats for the month of April. Sats for the month of April. It doesn't say who it was from. Sats for the month of April. Who was that? I'm going to guess that was either Ginger or Kev. I'm going to guess Ginger or Kev. Okay. I mean, we can keep doing this all day, but I want to move on with things. So this might be our last one. I think it'll work out. I think this will be the last toss. It's going to be like 210,000 sats. Well, what I would do is I would sign up for a Bitcoin Well account. I'd buy like $200 worth of Bitcoin, take advantage of the cheap prices, get 5 tosses into the well. I've already taken care of all the 210 sat tosses today. So you should be primed for a good toss, statistically speaking. We'll do one more. Bitcoin Wells, we're gonna bankrupt them here right away. There we go. There we go. Congrats, whoever got the 500. Still love it, her. Okay, I thought so. I mean, your name's Miss V. But I thought I saw a comment one time where it was not that. But that was a long time ago. But yes, Miss V Fudd was one of the very first, call them a founding member of the 88 Sats channel. Good to see you back. Don't hold your breath. Yeah, for real. Okay, congrats. So yes, get yourself an account, Bitcoin Well. Try them out. They're a great company here in Canada. If you're in Canada or the US, give them a shot. They're non-custodial, zero risk of rug. They take your money, they buy Bitcoin, they send you the Bitcoin. They don't hold the Bitcoin anywhere. And again, you can buy, you can sell, you can swap between Lightning and on-chain for free. I don't know anybody else out there, any other service that does that other than Bitcoin Well. You can do recurring DCAs. You can pay your bills with Bitcoin Well. And it's just like a really nice website. Like it's so easy to use, as Camille said. So give them a shot. And if they suck, then just don't use them again. It's not that hard. Milo said, couldn't even get the QRs to scan. Oops. Were they too small or something? Knox Bill, 200K. Is that a prediction? Knox Bill? That's a new addition to the name there. Good morning, buddy. Okay, let's get to the meat. Let's get to the meat of today's. I know it seems like we've already had the best show ever, but we're going to keep going. Hard to believe, I know. I just want to make sure I didn't miss anything here. Scotty Boy said, downhill skier, ride the charts down. Sats and Sunset said, the incoming inflation will have people looking for a solution. I mean, they should be already, realistically. Mika said, trying to send fiat to an American visionary anyway that's faster than PayPal or international wire transfer. Any way that's faster than PayPal. I feel like PayPal's instant. Jake said, we need to get Rajat a maple Bitcoin hat, and then he'd be Rahat. Tell him that today in the stream. Wallace Satoshi isn't. Yeah, that's what I use too. Wallace Satoshi didn't pick it up for me either. Interesting. Not working. And Paulie said Daisy intercepted Arnie's QR code and sent 1 sat. Crazy bitch. Savage. Yeah, that QR code on the screen, that's Arnie Boy's wallet. Arnie should be around here somewhere. So thank you, Daisy, for the 1 sat. Fail Bitcoin Well, yeah. Cancel it. We dislike Bitcoin Well. Cancel everything I said. Okay. Mika said it takes me 3 to 5 business days to load my PayPal account before I can. Oh, yeah. Yeah. That's fair. That's fair. Okay. Let's get to her here. So let's actually go through the agenda that we were supposed to do an hour and 13 minutes ago. How does that sound? Oh, a little Paul Brandt in the background today. His story. Hurting those. Okay, let's go. Let's oh, this is the wrong spready here. Whoops. That was private. Whoops. That was whoops. What's going on here? That was private information. Okay, here's the game plan today. So read the title. Today's show, an hour and 15 minutes into it, is titled, Do You Already Have Enough Bitcoin? So I'm supposed to read that at the start, so then YouTube picks it up. But I'm an hour late. Shoutouts today, Gigi, our #1 guy who wrote the book 21 Lessons. And I thought I was going to be clever and come up with a course called 88 Lessons. Turns out there's only 21. This is the last lesson. Sad. But shout out to Gigi. It actually worked out because he had a book called 21 Lessons. I had a YouTube course called 21 Lessons. Slightly different, but we're both in the right direction. Shout out to Sailor, who said people spend 100,000 hours of their life earning money. They should spend at least 100 hours learning how to keep it, or 21 lessons. And shout out to you, whoever's watching this. I've mentioned this a couple times throughout the show today. But if you're watching this in 2026, I don't think you realize how much wealth and power and influence that you're going to have. And getting to this stage, I think, where you're just watching a random YouTube stream on a Tuesday morning, you had to go through some shit. And every Bitcoiner goes through that, because nobody just joins Bitcoin because life's good. You know what I mean? I guarantee every single person here watching this now and later has gone through some shit. And so shout out to you for not just laying down and taking it, but saying, you know what? I'm done with this. This isn't right. Whatever's happening here isn't right. I'm going over here. I'm leaving. I'm not going to throw a huge fuss. I'm not going to protest. I'm not going to do anything. I'm just going to opt out of your system. So shout out. And that's where the real power is. The real power is attention. That's the vote that matters. So shout out to you for being here today. New members, somebody asked how they could be a member on the channel, and it's pretty easy too. I think you just click the join button right beside the video here. And all members on YouTube actually get access to Bitcoin School. So we've done 89 days so far. Yesterday's show was talking about the Cove wallet, which is basically the mobile version of Sparrow. Incredible wallet. So I showed people how to connect your cold card queue, how to send a transaction with your phone. Pretty badass. So that was day 89. That was yesterday. So I share a new video every single day on Bitcoin School, and all the members on YouTube actually have access to that. So it's good. It's kind of like a discounted version of it. If you want like the full experience, you join our Visionary School, which also gets all the courses, but you get the whole community there too. Plus all the other courses I've ever posted before. But I'm going to give a shout out to the new members here this week. Hopefully there's some to shout out. Yeah, there is. Wow. Because we didn't do a show last week. So there's 5 new members in the last 9 days. So I don't even know how to pronounce this. This isn't even a word. It's a bunch of symbols. But they joined 9 days ago. Nikki V joined 4 days ago. Zimbanusi joined 3 days ago. Shout out Zambanusi. Pinoy Pinto joined 2 days ago. And then we had a person named Satoshi who might have just joined today. Satoshi 21. Great name. So shout out, new members. Sponsors, we don't have any sponsors here. There's a member right there, Camille. You see that little S right there? That's a sign of a member. He said, I'm on Maple Bitcoin, the other groups on School, and love it. School's the best, man. School is the best. So we don't have any sponsors. And it's people like Josh, like Ginger. I don't know I still don't know who sent that. But Josh, Cannon, Scotty Boy, Mark, Jenny Legendary, Sharon B, a Praetorian, Sats and Sunsets, The Smith, Matt FRL. It's people like that who keep the show going here, because we don't have any sponsors. I don't have a monthly payment coming in from anybody. But I believe that that's what makes this show unique, is because we just talk about whatever the hell we want. We don't care what the sponsors think. We don't care what the algorithm thinks. It's pretty freeing. But it would not be possible without the angels in the community. So shout out. I probably missed a couple people there. Letha the icon. I know she's not here today, but she is a big part of why we're still here today. So the game plan, we talked about Elon. We talked about business adoption. We gave away some free Bitcoin. I'm going to give you guys and girls a special offer here that you cannot refuse by the end of the show. And if you are a serious Bitcoiner, I'd say if you got more than 0.5 of a Bitcoin and you lay in bed at night and you're like, is my Bitcoin safe? Go to bitcoincitadel.net, set up a call, and we will help you make sure that you sleep better at night with your Bitcoin. We got some big things coming out of Bitcoin Citadel, including the 21 Sats inheritance protocol and the new product called Citadel Vault, which is going to change Bitcoin, which launches in June at BTC Prague. Yeah, maybe Maple Bitcoin can sponsor me. That's a good call, Camille. I should check in. I should check in. Camille said, remember 2 months I am on Maple Bitcoin and the other groups, learned a ton. Paulie says, Cove is a fabulous wallet, hooks up to my node through Electrum. Yeah, you can hook it up. You can run a node in your phone. It is, that was Zeus. So you connect it to your cold card or your own node, I guess. Is that what Paulie said? Through Electrum, yeah, wow. I didn't even know it could do that. LG, life is good from Argentina. Wow, you probably got some peasants fanning you right now. 0.48 Bitcoin in Argentina? That's probably like $1 trillion. LG's sitting there in a throne right now, getting fanned. I wish I had that. Frick, it's hot in here. I need to crack a window. It snowed like a bastard here last night. You can see the snow on the railing there. See that? That's from last night. For some reason, it's frickin' cooking in here. Okay, back to the show here. So let's go to this. All right, here we go. Well, hello and welcome to the very final edition of originally 88 lessons, but has been changed to 21 lessons. And this is number 21. And it is titled, You Already Have Enough Bitcoin. And kind of the main overlying theme of today's show is that there's a lot of people out there, I feel like a lot of Bitcoiners who are working their ass off. And you know, there's a difference, because I do think that people should be pushing a little bit harder, especially over these next 2 or 3 years, to get more sats. But I think that people really need to understand how much they're holding right now, how much wealth, how much power, how much influence in the future that they already have. And just because the fiat price and the fiat system is trying to tell you that it's only worth this, don't bother. Don't listen to that, because what we're going to go through today, I'm going to show you how much your Bitcoin is really worth and how much Bitcoin you really need. And hopefully at the end of this, you're going to have a good idea of kind of how to proceed going forward in Bitcoin. If you're already here today, you're good. Just understand that. Like, I know there's different people in different parts of the world, different ages, different income levels, all that kind of stuff. But for real, if you have any sort of a Bitcoin stack right now, if you can just hang on to that, you might not be able to retire on it in 5 years, but if you can just hold on to what you have today, that's going to change your bloodline forever. Truly. So that's kind of that's what we're going to be talking about. And I'm going to talk about a couple different things, but let's start with this. Let's just take a look at the spreadsheet here. So I think most people are kind of familiar with this, and I'm going to give you, there's a couple ways to look at this. So there's two kind of metrics, I guess you'd say. The two metrics that I use for kind of projecting Bitcoin approximately into the future, because the reality is that I have no idea. The reality is that I have no idea. I could be significantly underestimating what this thing's going to be worth in a decade from now, or even next year. And if anybody tells you that they do know what's going to happen in Bitcoin, just go run. Because they don't. Nobody knows. We've never had an asset like Bitcoin before. We've never had an asset with an absolutely scarce supply before. So you cannot compare Bitcoin to anything. We have nothing to go off of. We have no history to compare it to. But the two metrics that I like was the compound annual growth rate. Most people know it as the CAGR. And then there's the block reward. Block reward. What would you call it? I don't know. Let's just call it block reward. Keep it simple. And so those are kind of the two main ones. And one of my buddies in Bitcoin named Forrest Hodl, formerly known as Bitcoin Not Crypto, he had a really good thought experiment, a really good kind of like how much you should try to get to. So he basically said, try to get to 1 Bitcoin block reward. So what does that mean? Like if you took that seriously and you're like, okay, well, I can't get a block reward today because the block reward is currently 3.125. This is where we are right now. We're in epoch number 5. So every 210,000 blocks, there's a new epoch in Bitcoin. It's not based on human time, it's based on blocks. So every 210,000 blocks, this new supply here, new supply per block, and the blocks come in on average every 10 minutes. So basically back in epoch number 1 in 2009, every 10 minutes, there would be 50 Bitcoin mined, 50 Bitcoin added to the circulating supply, the newly generated coins. And then after 210,000 blocks, it cut down to 25 per block. And then it cut down to 12.5 per block. And then it cut down to 6.25 per block every 10 minutes. So these are all done now. All these epochs are done. This epoch number 4 ended in April of 2024. So basically, this is the total amount of Bitcoin that's been mined, which is, that's not right. What is this number doing here? Oh no, that's got to be 21,000. This has got to be 22. I was going to say, what? There's more than 21 million Bitcoin? This has got to be 22. These all got to be 22. How do I do this? Let's do star. We're doing live spreadsheet here. Is that star? No. $. I think. Frick. Taking me back to my accounting days here. Is that what it is? Is it? Let's see. Yep. Nailed it. Nailed it. Okay, so that is the, I'm going to make these unbold. I want to make this spreadsheet a little bit easier to read. Unbold. There we go. Okay, so this is kind of like the next 17 epoch, or the first 17 epochs here. And this goes to 2072. So, I mean, you could look at this thing out into 2140, but it starts to look silly. And the majority of us, we might be around, who knows? But the majority of us probably won't be around at that point. But I do think that, you know, if you're a millennial or a Gen X, you might make it to 2072. What is that, 50 years? Yeah, I hope to be around by then. So this is kind of like this is our time frame here. The millennials, the Gen X, baby boomers, really healthy baby boomers, maybe, if technology gets better. Who knows? I've heard that people will be able to live as long as they want to, which is kind of a scary thought. But anyways, look at this. Fanny's here. Good morning, Fanny. Special shout out there to Fanny during the mid lesson here. Okay. I can't leave Francis out. Good morning, Francis, too. Shout out to Francis. My guy, fellow prairieman. Okay, so what the hell is I talking about here? So every 210,000 blocks, this gets cut in half. So you can see what it looks like here. And so what Forrest said, his idea was that you should just try to get to a block reward, which again, today in Epoch 5, it's a little bit difficult to get to, I would say. 3.125, that's way out of reach for most people, especially if you're just kind of here in the last couple of years. That would be very impressive. I know there's some baby boomers out there who had a lot of wealth and they converted that into Bitcoin. But like for the millennials, the Gen Z, and even some Gen X, like that's a very high number. But if you can hold on to it for another, 2 years, then all of a sudden that block reward is now 1.56. So maybe let's change this to get to one current block reward. One current block reward. So if you got 1.56 and you can hold on to that for 2 years, you win. Because this is how it's going to work, is that I would say throughout time, even though these Bitcoin amounts are going to go down, in terms of the fiat side of things, the fiat equivalent to these, it should be fairly consistent. And that's kind of the metric that we're using today. So when you go down again, if you can hold on to it for another 4 years after that, then you get down to 78 million sats, or 0.78 of a Bitcoin. And then if you can hang on to it for 4 years after that, then this is your new target. So in 2036, if you can get to 39 million sats, that's kind of like, I would say, a really solid goal. And then the longer you hold on to it, the longer that amount is going to be worth. So that's what everybody should be striving here to do. I would say probably within the first 12 epochs, this is going to be very possible for every person watching this here today. So in epoch number 12, that's going to be 2 million sats. That's going to be 2 million sats, which you can buy today for like $1,000 US pretty much. So that's kind of the theory, is that if you can get to a block reward at any point in the future, then that's what you need. That's like a really high goal. So you either have to like load up a lot now if you want to start using it, or you have to learn how to protect it. You kind of have one or two things there. So with that in mind, I would say if you're like a baby boomer, you want to try to get that as soon as you can. You want to get to at least 1 Bitcoin. If you can get to 3.125 Bitcoin, even better. But if you're somebody who's a millennial or a Gen Z, you got time. Like, you got time. Understand what these are going to be worth in the future. And so if we think about it this way too, because this is kind of like the block reward metric, which if you look at here, let's go like this. Let's look at the mempool. Let's look at the mempool. So if we look at like block 500,000, we're just going to do a couple random ones here. 500,000. So you can go into this block. The beauty of Bitcoin is that it's all very transparent. You can audit every single block that's happened since January 2009. But you can see here that the subsidy plus the fees back at block 500,000, the subsidy, the block reward was worth $257,000. So that's kind of our starting point here. That's what we're going to be using. So let's write that down. 257,000. 257,000. And I mean, you could just ask yourself right now, based on the life that you live, how far would you be able to stretch $250,000 worth of money? Some people, a week. Some people, 10 years. And the difference between fiat and Bitcoin is that if you're holding that in fiat, the value of that is going to continuously go down forever. On the flip side, though, if you're holding that in Bitcoin, the purchasing power is going to continuously go up forever. So we got to kind of switch our mentality here and our mindset to understand that this is not an asset that depreciates. This is an asset that appreciates over time. It basically does the exact opposite of everything that fiat does. So I guess just start by asking yourself that question. How much would $250,000, how long could you last on that? And then if we go back to the mempool here, let's go to, where's the freaking search bar? There we go. Let's go 600,000. Actually, you know what? In honor of Sharon B, let's go 5555. And let's see what this one was worth. So this one was worth a lot less. I wonder what the price would have been at this time. This was in 2018, December 2018. So 47,000 divided by 12. So this one, the Bitcoin price was like $4,000. Yep, 4,000. Wow, could you imagine picking up 1 Bitcoin for $4,000? So that one's a little bit less, but we got to put that up as a point here. We got to put it on our, because we can't just pick and choose. So what was that? 47,000. And then if we go back to that, let's go to 69,000. Nice. Let's see what this was worth. 233. So you can see that as we go on here, the Bitcoin amount actually goes down. Like the last one we looked at was 12 Bitcoin, and it was worth 47,000. This one, even though the Bitcoin has gone down, the fiat basically 7x'd. So we got 233 here now. That's our next marker. 233,000. And then let's do one more just for shits and giggies here. Let's do what? Maybe some 8s? 275. So this is perfect because the Bitcoin again got cut in half, the total block reward. So that again, that's the incentives for miners. That's what they get paid, is the subsidy and the fee for the block reward. So that was, it got cut in half again to 3.2. And then it's worth 275,000. 275,000. So you can kind of see the theme here, right? Like we just went basically from 2018 to 2024, and the block rewards, even though the Bitcoin amount keeps going down, the fiat kind of stays the same. I mean, you're going to have exceptions. You're going to see some blocks. Like if we look at, because we have an exception here. This, I would say this is an outlier in our chart. But if we go to when was the last run up? That would have been in August of 2025. That would have been about 10,000. Yeah, see? I'm a good guesser, or I'm smart. Could be either way. Could go either way. But you can see here, the subsidy is the same. 3 Bitcoin, 3.125 Bitcoin. But you can see the fiat equivalent is 383 here. 383,000. So that, I guess we got to add that. That was kind of pick and choosing, but we had a small one here. So I just wanted to show you that even though the average is like 200 and some thousand, there's highs and there's lows. There's going to be some swings, right? That's Bitcoin. Okay, so basically what that means is that if we look out in the future here, and let's just think about this. I know there's a lot of numbers here, and it's even hard for me to sometimes keep up to myself. But you can see here, so that basically, let's say that if you had a block reward, as Forrest suggested there, and Forrest is actually in the chat here today. So shout out to Forrest, because this was kind of his goal, his idea. But this is a good metric to use. So then we say, okay, so 2024, epoch number 5, let's just say 250,000 to keep it really simple. So that if you had the block reward today, that's going to be worth about 250,000. Right? Fiat. We can agree with that. We got a couple different points of data here. And let's say that the average is 240,000. We'll do 250 just for fun. But it's not going to be much different. So then we say, okay, so then this is equals this divided by this. And this is kind of our average price of Bitcoin, 80,000. So let's get rid of these. But then what you see here, what you notice is that even though these block rewards, this is kind of the metric that we're using. So we say, okay, this is the incentives for miners. And I would expect this to be on the lower end, honestly. So that's basically saying that in less than 15 years, 0.19 or 19 million sats will be worth approximately 250K. Right? Because that's what we're saying here. We're saying that even though the Bitcoin amount is going to continuously go down, the average fiat value of that, or the purchasing power, more importantly, the purchasing power of that is going to be about 250,000 per block reward. I expect it to go up just because of how things are going to play out here and considering how early we are in Bitcoin, but I still think it's a good metric to use. So then we say 19 million sats in less than 15 years is going to be worth 250K. Which means that if you had a full Bitcoin in 2040, that's going to be times 5. You're going to have about 1.25 million purchasing power. And I don't know about you, but I could probably live off of 1.25 purchasing power. Not like, again, this isn't a world where a loaf of bread costs $5,000. This is the current value of things today. And, you know, as Bitcoin goes up and fiat loses value, it's not going to be that important, honestly, because both these systems cannot coexist forever. So at some point, we're going to split off. Everything's going to be measured in sats. And when you start doing the math on how much a house is going to be worth in sats, then, I mean, like, you're going to be laughing. But this is just kind of on the world as we know it today, because it's impossible to know what's going to happen for sure. But then if we look at let's say in less than 25 years. So 2050-ish. 252. That means the 2 million sats, 0.02 or 2 million sats will be worth approximately, what would that be now? So we had this was 250. It's going to be 250 times 100 divided by 2. 250 times 50. Is that right? Yeah. 250,000 times 50. So again, this is all just based on the block reward metric. This is nothing fancy here. This is based on historical data plus numbers that will not change, and this is what we come up with. Is that right? That doesn't look right. What did I do wrong? Oh no, yeah, that's right. 12 million. So basically what I would say to that is like, okay, one Bitcoin at that time will be worth $12 million. But if you can get so this is kind of speaking right now, this is speaking to the millennials and Gen X, because that's kind of our window, I would say, is like 20 years. This is less than 25 years out, where 2 million sats is going to have the purchasing power of $250,000. Again, based on the current world that we have, this could change. It could be worth 100 times more than this. It really could. But just based on historical data plus numbers that will not change, these are the amounts. So if you can hold on for 20 years, if you got one Bitcoin, and again, think about that. You might say, well, $12 million isn't really that much, but you're storing it in a money that's going up. So then again, you look out to 2060, and then it's like these numbers are a joke. So if you can hold on for like 8 more years, then it's going to be worth 25 million or 30 million. Like we're dealing with a currency that's designed to go up forever because there's only so many units. There's an absolutely fixed supply of these units. That's the bottom line. That's the denominator here. Right? So that's the denominator. Denominator will not change. 2.1 quadrillion sats. But the demand, so that's the supply, the demand, or the people holding Bitcoin, will probably go up over time. Would you agree with me? The people, as they understand Bitcoin, as they see a need for Bitcoin, the people holding Bitcoin, that number will go up, which means that this is your demand, this is your supply. This number here will go up forever. The people holding Bitcoin will go up forever. This number will not change. And so what happens when you have a fixed supply with an ever increasing demand, that means the purchasing power of those units goes up forever. It's very simple. It could not be more simple than that. So what I would say then is that if you're somebody who's a Gen Z, like you need like 500 sats. Like for real. I'd say like if you're a Gen Z, you'll probably be able to retire with 1 million sats by the time you're of age. Less than that, probably. If you're a baby boomer, you're probably going to need like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Bitcoin if you want to retire on that. If you just want to leave it for your family, though, that's a whole different story. Because again, your kids and their kids, that's stretching out even further. So like by the time your grandkids turn 30, that 5 million sats that you left them, they're good. They won't have to work another day in their life if they don't want to. But then it comes into the debate of like, is that a good thing for the kids or a bad thing? But I still think the baby boomers want to leave something for their kids, right? And so that's kind of the four. So we got Gen Z, we got millennials, we got our Gen X, our favorite generation, and we got the boomers. I'm a millennial, but I think Gen X is the best generation. So Gen Z, you're good regardless. If you're in Bitcoin now, like you don't have to worry about anything ever again. If you can hold on to that Bitcoin, doesn't matter how much you have, you're good. Millennials, I'd say like based on this, so where are we at here? So in 2060, let's say that's when the majority of millennials, well, let's go 2050, make it a little bit more realistic. So 2052, most millennials will be like 60. So that's this one here. So yeah, you probably want to get to like half a Bitcoin, I'd say. That's probably good. If you want to retire on that. And again, once you get to that point, it's going to be appreciating. You're not going to be able to spend enough. Your Bitcoin balance won't change very much either way. And you'll be able to lend against it, and Gen X, I would say you're probably close to the same. Gen X probably should be trying to get 1 Bitcoin. And then boomers should have at least 1 Bitcoin. Boomers, you're probably not going to be able to retire on that 1 Bitcoin. But again, you're going to be leaving it to your family. And that 1 Bitcoin is going to change your bloodline forever. Like for real. If you're a baby boomer today, and if you can leave 1 Bitcoin in your family is going to be set forever. And they're always going to remember you. And yeah, I think that's fair. So then it begs the question, because if that's true, if you subscribe to what I'm saying here, and the other metric you could use is compound annual growth rate, which you could just go to reversecagr.com and you can put in some numbers in there and kind of get your own idea of how much it'll be worth in the future. But again, this isn't looking at like 100 years. This is like within our lifetime here. And so what you want to do here is I'd say there's kind of 3 things. Because your main job right now, again, if you subscribe to what I'm saying here, your main job is to protect your Bitcoin. That's it. Keep working. Make sure, I should change that. Make sure your stack only goes up. And I've been thinking about this a lot lately. And I think that's kind of my main job here with the 88 Sats channel, with the Visionaries community. My main job is to help you hodl. My main job is to help you hodl. I want to give you all the tools, all the resources, all the knowledge, all the conviction. My main job is to help you hodl. That's really what it is. It's really that simple. Because that's all you need to do. So you want to keep working. You want to keep adding value because you don't want your stack to go down. You want that balance to just go up over time. And it doesn't have to go up in an insane amounts either. As long as you just keep adding to it. And then at December 31st, you look at that balance and it was higher than January 1st. If you can do that for the next 10 years, you win. If you can protect it. So this is what I'm going to say for the people here. I'd say that this is something that you can do today. This is something that you can do this week. And this is something that you can do this year. And the amounts really don't matter that much. Like I used to say, if you have more than half a Bitcoin, you should be in here. Or if you have a full Bitcoin, you should be in here. The amounts don't really matter. I'm telling you, whatever you have today, you're good. You just have to protect it. And if you're anybody like me, like I used to lay in bed at night and wonder, because I didn't really understand Bitcoin well enough to know how safe my Bitcoin was. And I would come up with all these crazy thoughts of like, what if this happens? What would happen to my Bitcoin? What if this happened? What would happen to my Bitcoin? And it led me to a place where now it's all I think about and all I talk about and all I help people with is their Bitcoin security. And so if you kind of understand that feeling there, I would say, take it seriously, listen to it and do your best to counter it. And I'm going to give you a couple different resources here. So number one, the DIY. This is something you can do today. Literally just get a blank piece of paper. Get a blank piece of paper and say, hey, family, if I have a heart attack today, or if I die in a car accident today, this is how you're going to access my Bitcoin. This is where the words are. This is where the passphrase is. This is what the PIN code is. Keep it as simple as possible for your family, but you can just take a piece of paper and do that today. And you can say on there, you can say, if you have any problems restoring this, contact Jor, contact Maple Bitcoin, contact whoever. But you want to make sure you put under there in bold and italics and underline. I've said this a million times, but you put Under no circumstances will you share this information, these 12 words, with whoever's helping you. Which means that somebody from your family, if you had this instructions, they could reach out to me, I could help them, and your family would know enough to know not to give me the 12 words. I'll be able to help them recover it. As long as they have the 12 words and the passphrase and everything that they need, I can definitely help them do it. But you just want to make it clear in there, because people don't know. You're probably the Bitcoiner in your family, and you think that this is kind of like common knowledge, but nobody knows this stuff. So that's something you want to do today, is get the one pager done, like right after the show today. The second thing you can do is you can use this inheritance document. And I'm going to bring it up here because Forrest, Rajat, and myself, we created this course. We created this course called The Lost Guide to Bitcoin Storage. And so we already got 4 episodes. We're going to be releasing one today or tomorrow, episode number 5. But this course includes an inheritance document. It's like a 3-page document. And you can basically fill it out and leave it with somebody that you trust. And then your family will have all the information that they need. And that's something you can do this week. You can join the Maple Bitcoin. That's part of it. I mean, you get the community, you get all these courses. You get this full course. It's going to be an 11-part series called The Lost Guide to Bitcoin Storage. And you get the inheritance document. So you pay 1 month. If it's not for you, you just get the inheritance document, you leave. I mean, we're not gonna be mad about that. But it's critical that you at least have something like that in place. It's not going to be perfect. There's a lot more to think through, but it's something that you can do in the meantime that's going to help you sleep better, knowing that if something happened to you tomorrow or today, your family would still be able to access your Bitcoin. So you get that document, you get these courses. I would say this episode number 2 here is extremely underrated, because we talk about like, what's your threat models? I had like a list of 6 questions to ask yourself. If this happened, what would happen to your Bitcoin? If this happened, what would happen to your Bitcoin? And you just go through that list, and it's probably going to scare the shit out of you, but you're going to start putting things in place. So that's what it is. Threat models here, the Bitcoin mindset. And then this last one here, the keys, seeds, and passphrases. It's literally giving you a blueprint of where to store these things, where to store your cold card, where to store your 12 words, where to store your passphrase, where to store your PIN code, where to store the inheritance document. And then there's going to be 7 more episodes here. So that's Maple Bitcoin. That's the course and the inheritance document there. And I don't think you're going to find a better investment for your short term, for your Bitcoin security. That's what you want. And I'll put the link there to Maple. So again, you can join for a month. You can get the inheritance document. You can watch the course. And then if it's not for you, you can just cancel it. Simple, very simple. And so you can get that from Maple School. You'll be able to access that inheritance document right in the school. The Citadel Vault. And if anybody's watching this later, I'll also have the pinned comment with the link to Maple Bitcoin School in there. And then the Citadel Vault. So this is, I've been talking about the 21 Sats inheritance protocol. We've been helping people for over a year now with that. And there's a new product now. The new product is called the Citadel Vault. And it basically looks like something like this. It's a little bit bigger, but it's fully offline. Never touches the internet, fully open source, hardware, software. And it basically is going to hold all of your Bitcoin information. It's going to hold all of your passwords, all your login information, all important documents. It's going to hold all of that in here. And it's like James Bond shit. You need like 3 different keys to access it. You store these keys in different spots so you don't have it at your house at all. It's fully non-KYC. It's fully private. Everything about it. You're not trusting anybody with your key. Because like there's a ton of solutions out there between like a Casa, an Unchained, and they're good, but you're still doxing all of your information to them. They're holding a key so they know what your balances are. That's a problem in my mind. And so this basically gives you full private non-KYC setup, no Bitcoin at your house. And you have all your inheritance documents in here. I think there's 20 countries where you can actually go through it and create an inheritance document, store it in here. And then as long as your family has access to this device, it looks like this. It's a little bit bigger, but it's basically a secondary cold card with way more information in there. And so that's going to be coming out in June. It launches at BTC Prague. It's from 21 Sats, which I'm involved in, and it's going to change Bitcoin. But we are doing a pre-sale right now. I think there's 13 units sold out of 21, and you get a pretty good discount. You're going to be the first one to use it. You're going to get an hour or two of our time, which you won't get just by buying it in the future. And the first 21 customers who buy it are going to get that offer. So it's not even on a website yet. You can't even go to a website yet and buy it. It's all just people in the community and kind of our close circle, I guess. So it's going to officially launch in Prague. So if you want to wait till then, fine. You're going to pay whatever it is, full price. But there's no rush. We're going to have a lot of these units. But if you do want to kind of be the first one, if you want a little more attention in terms of like help, guidance, and if you want a nice discount on it, you can be one of the first 21 people to try it. So it's called the Citadel Vault. So if you are interested in learning more about it, there's going to be zero pressure at all. Me and Craig say this all the time. We're the worst salesmen ever because we're just like, you need it or you don't. And that's what we've done with 21 Sats too. We never make people feel like they need to do something. If they see it, we explain the benefits, whether or not it makes sense for them. And then it's up to you. But we're happy to provide you with the information and kind of give you a first glance at the product. So my special offer to you is going to be two things. Number one, if you're interested in the Citadel Vault, just shoot me an email, 88sats@proton.me, and just put Citadel Vault, and I'll shoot you a link. We can set up a call and chat about it. But the second offer is a special offer. It has to do with Maple Bitcoin School. So if you're like, okay, well, I'm thinking about maybe doing it, this is going to kind of push you over the edge. So shoot me an email, just put special offer, and I'll send you the offer. It has to do with Maple Bitcoin and a few other things too. So if you want that inheritance document, if you want to be part of the community, we do have a live call every week, just kind of a hangout with everybody in the community. We call it Happy Hour, and you get to be part of that. So just say either Citadel Vault if you want information on that unit, and special offer if you're considering joining the Maple, you want that inheritance document. Inheritance. It's a hard word to say. Inheritance. And I'm out of breath, and I got another live stream with the BTC Mastermind in about an hour and a half from now. So I'm going to hit the road. So that's what I got. If you're watching this on Saturday, I hope you're having a great Saturday. And if you're watching this today, we'll do a couple more things here, and then we're going to call her. So thanks for watching. I'll have all the relevant links in the pinned comments, and I hope to hear from you. You already have enough. Your main job now is to protect what you have. And it's going to be tough. Everybody's going to want your Bitcoin. Technology is going to be better. There's going to be more people coming after your Bitcoin. And it's just going to keep going up in value. And as it goes up, there's going to be more people wanting it. So you want to get it to a spot where you have no Bitcoin at your house. You have your inheritance set up for your family. And you sleep like a baby. That's the goal. Helping you hodl. So that's it. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye. And for everybody else, I got to go right away. I got to go. And that was a good one. What do we think about that? Are we on something there? I think so. Okay. Sorry, I missed a lot of rumble here. I missed some nosters. Let's wrap her up. I'm tired of talking. I got more talking to do. And I got to eat something. So I promised the best show in YouTube history today. Did we hit it? I don't know. You'll have to be the judge of that. Oh, look at this. We got a couple of people on Maria. Maria 2000. Also, who the hell sent that big zap? Can somebody tell me? I want to say thank you. Mika says Citadel Vault is the answer. I will sleep so much better when I have that set up. For real. For real. Yeah, shout out to Gen X, my favorite. Captain says, you mentioned that you had another show with Rajat in a few hours. What show is that and how do I join? It's a good question. It's called the BTC Mastermind. It's a new show we got every Tuesday afternoon with the boys. BTC Mastermind. I'll share it in the chat here. It's Brandon, Gentili, Rajat, Robin Sayer, me, Forrest. Good crew. Good crew. So if you haven't found that yet, make sure you check it out. Whoa. Okay, we had a good show today. Actually, I was kind of looking at the numbers in the chat, and usually people don't. Usually they kind of start going down after the first hour and a half. But we've been able to hold good. So Josh says, Jor, what does that vault roughly cost in sats? It depends. There's a couple different models. I think the intro one, like the basic model, is like $2,500, I believe. But it basically took like our 21 sats inheritance and security thing, which would have taken you like 20 hours to set up. It's about the same cost, and it takes about half an hour to 45 minutes to set up. So it's way better. And it's much more of like a robust setup, I feel like. It's amazing. So about $2,500 right now, which really is nothing. I think that unit should probably be worth, I mean, how do you put a price on keeping Bitcoin forever? It's got 1,000-year backup, a disk that's 1,000 years. Like, it's built for generational wealth. But yes, thank you, Maria, very much. And Josh said, instead of Bitcoin educators, we need local community-based educators that can help businesses. Agree with that. I strongly agree with that. Strongly agree. So thank you, Maria. I want to give a couple big shout outs here before we go today. Sin Diesel, I didn't even see Sin come in. How'd you get in here, Sin? How'd you get in here, Sin? Okay, I think Scotty fell asleep here. We usually buy Bitcoin right now, but oh, it looks like Sin tried. Sin tried about 5 times, it looks like, to send 18 sats, but he failed. So Maria 2000, also known as Maria 2500 on Rumble, and Maria 5000 around here. Whoever sent the big zap, thank you. I have no idea who that was, but it was the biggest one of the day. So Satoshi is the MOB today, with a special shout out to Sats and Sunsets. Oh, we had the backpacker in the house. We had Cannon, Scotty Boy. We had Bitcoin Golf Pro. We had David T. We had Matt FRL, the man. We had Mark. We had Joshua. We had Sats and Sunsets and Sharon B. So shout out to the crew and Rumble. I'm sorry. We didn't have I did my best today. I did my best. Sin says it is highly underpriced. Exactly. Can you post your link to BTC Mastermind? Yep. I shared it right there. Camille, there you go, my friend. Okay. Well, thanks for watching, everybody. This is officially the last 21 lessons. I don't know what I'm going to do next yet, but maybe I'll just do a live stream next Tuesday on YouTube and just kind of fill everybody in terms of where we're going next. So as I mentioned right off the top of the show, we still do these live streams every single morning, and on a better platform, I would say. You can talk about more. You can leave links in the chats. You can swear in the chats. You don't get anything censored. It's a good place to be. Every single day, Monday to Friday, that's where we are. So if I don't see you, hopefully we will. But I'll see you on the mastermind today, or I'll see you next Tuesday. I'll plan on doing a YouTube show as kind of an update. So thanks, everybody. Have a great day. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.